everyone. I'm Carey Pena, and this is Good Morning Sunshine. We are broadcasting today from the Center for Positive Media. With me here in studio, Marcela Lopez. We're going to tackle a big topic, breaking the generational cycles of negativity. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You are running a very successful operation, the Heart of Isaac Community Center, and your focus is on breaking these generational cycles. How are you doing that?
Thank you so much. I'm excited to share with you a little bit of what's happening at Heart of Isaac. We are, as you said, a community center, and often in a Title I district, we have the advantage of working closely with our community. What we've learned over the years is that our families want to engage, they want to learn, they want to participate, and truly change that dynamic for their children. So the Resource Center helps them with those opportunities. And some pieces that we can think about changing is what's happening at school and how do we help our families build some capacity. One of the quickest and perhaps most popular classes that we've had is our meditation class. So for our mothers to sit in an environment with other moms and speak and meditate and take some time for themselves, which is often hard when we have children in school. And so certain classes we have found that have been very successful when we think about our families and what are some needs that they might directly have that can cause and make impact, even picking up their children from school where they can have a dialogue, a conversation, and not an overwhelmed day that now I'm pouring into my child.
You know, it's interesting because you're running a community center and you help hundreds, thousands of families probably, but if you think about it, it's so much more than a resource center. It is about mental health first and making sure that we have a comfortable environment around us. We know that the community is there for us. Then we can make good decisions that impact everything else.
Right. I like that you shared that. I often say to our families, if we know different, we'll do different. And so our families really come into the center, and we're building also ambassadors within our community to learn, to build skill sets, to go off, not only to share with their immediate family, but if we truly want to cause impact within our community, it's also building them to help build that neighbor, to help build that other parent at the school site so they can also learn and do different things. I like what you just shared, the generational cycle of having a more positive outcome, of really connecting and understanding where are we headed, what are some of those goals that we've established as a family.
And you know, Marcela, one of the things that you've done that has been very successful is these resource days hosted by the likes of Molina Healthcare, and they're an incredible supporter of yours. Talk about the resource days and how important that is to bring different folks from the community together to help these families, not only now, but in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Resource days are critical and a staple within the community. So often what we found were families were coming in for an assistance or a referral to some agency. And then we thought, well, if this one family knew enough to raise their hand, how do we reach to more families that perhaps have never heard of a family resource center or community center? So resource days are hosted once a month, and we bring all our community partners that are around social determinants of health. So education, well-being, our community, and in one location, primarily in their language, which is Spanish, and really to build and understand what exists, what resources do our families have. But I think the neat part about that is we've always had over 100 participants in the span of 2.5 hours. We'll see about over 100 families. But when we have organizations such as Molina, who did a coats for us, who gave 500 coats to our families, it is building a community of saying, if I need help, where do I go to? What would be my first thought that would come? And we hope that that's the Heart of Isaac for them.
What has been the biggest inspiration for you running this community center? You do deal with folks who are up against a lot in life, hard times, financial stressors. What has been the biggest inspiration for you running this center that has been so successful?
Yeah. I'm a product of the Isaac School District. So the Heart of Isaac is part of the Isaac School District. So I attended Mitchell Elementary and Isaac Middle School. So for me, it's a personal mission to support and give back to a community that allowed me to reach success and go off to college and earn my degrees. So for me, I always say our families are rich in many other pieces. Financially, we may struggle, but we know how to make the dollars stretch. And I often think about the conversations that happened at home with my mom, right? They both worked long hours. And I remember those conversations that sometimes the connection between school and home was a little hard. But then my mom started participating in classes. And for me, Carrie, that really was the difference. It was her understanding what were some of those stressors and how she was sharing those with us. And for her to actively change and say, hey, your only job here is to earn an education. And what do I need to do? Did a lot of self reflection on her own to ensure that I had the best opportunity.
That was really, she was practicing a lot of mindfulness
Yes,
before it became a thing.
yes,
And that's very important in this journey.
agreed.
So what do you think that folks could learn? Because obviously you're located in the Phoenix area, but this show goes out all over across the country. What do you think people could take away from the lessons you're learning right here in Phoenix through the work you're doing at the community center and teaming up with healthcare partners like Melina? Because health is, wealth to all of us.
Right, right. I like that you shared what can we do broader than the Maricopa and the Phoenix area. I would share that family resource centers are all around. So I would always encourage them to think about where is the nearest family resource center. If I'm an agency, how do I even connect through them? What are some of the needs? Because as a family resource center, we're often doing survey assessments to see what are some needs of our community. And the second piece is school districts exist everywhere. And so what is that need that the school district may have, and how do we connect those pieces? I always also always like to encourage that our families have a lot to share and they have so much knowledge. I think that's the important piece in a true collaboration where exists a family resource center, but we're not there to say we know it all. We know that our parents and our families know. And as you mentioned, my mom was practicing being intentional about mindfulness. So these things do exist around the table. It's just giving them a little bit more knowledge that exists. But the opportunity to partner with the resource center, the opportunity to partner with the school district.
And the power of community.
Truly, truly.
Marcella, thank you so much for all of the incredible work you're doing. You're a beautiful human being, and it's truly transformational for so many families. So I appreciate you, and to organizations like Melina for making
Yes.
that possible. Thank you so very much. And thanks to all of you for watching. Good morning, sunshine. I'm Carey Pena. Make sure that you subscribe and follow along. We drop new content every week. We have a lot of incredible folks like Marcella on the show, as well as experts focused on mental health and well-being. For now, take good care.